Hello. Thank you for joining Parkinson Voice Project for today's online Speak Out Home practice session. My name is Samantha Allenderry. I'm a speech language pathologist and the founder of Parkinson Voice Project. I am here to help you establish and maintain a consistent speak out home practice routine. Hopefully you are already working with a certified speak out provider that is a speech language pathologist who has completed Parkinson Voice Project speak out training. And then we are here to help you with your home practice. In the background, you see Alan from Rio Vista, California. You see his beautiful painting that he sent to us that features the Parkinson's tulip. Did you know that the tulip is the international symbol for Parkinson's, and more specifically, the red tulip with white tips? And Alan even got a little bee and a beehive in the picture. Thank you, Alan. Today's topic that Lisa prepared for us, Hans Christian Andersen. Let's say his name with intent. Hans Christian Andersen. And don't let it trail off. Again, Hans Christian Andersen. And before we practice smiling with intent, we need a little bit of inspiration. Marty from South Carolina sent us a super cute photo of her grandchildren. So now we've got some great inspiration there to smile. So give me your best smile. Ready? Very good. Take your sip of water and then we will go through the speak out exercises. As we were preparing today's session, I also found a really neat website for you to use and practice your reading. So I'll share that website with you later in the session. The first speak out exercise, we need to warm up our voices. I want you to lift your voice and project it up and over your computer. Here we go. May, me, my, mo, moo. Up and forward. Let's do it again. May, me, my, mo, moo. Don't let it trail off. Again. May, me, my, mo, moo. We're being very deliberate and purposeful. Connect the sounds. Ready? May, me, my, mo, moo. We are speaking out. Let's do one more, and this time we'll stretch out the vowels a little bit more. Here we go. May, me, my, mo, moo. Let's do it one more time. Ready? May, me, my, mo, moo. Good. We're done with the warm-up. Take your sip of water with intent. Grab your cup or glass. Swallow with intent, which means you're thinking about it. We're moving on to speak out exercise number 2, the ahs. Deliberately open your mouth wide and then project the ah forward, up and over your computer. Here we go. Ah. Make sure the sound is ah. Ready? Ah. Again. One way to know if you're opening your mouth wide enough, you could use a mirror, but the sound should be ah. Ah, not ooh, anything. Ah. Ready? Ah. Good. We're being deliberate. Let's do a short one. Here we go. Very nice. Take your sip of water with intent. Speak out therapy and your home practice should be done with lots of energy. I definitely use a lot of intent when I take my sip of water. I don't want to spill it during the session, so I have to think about it and I'm more deliberate. Let's move on to speak out exercise number 3, the glides. Project out a steady ah first, and then glide up. Here we go. Ah, ah. As you're gliding down, make the sound grow and go in front of you. Start high and let's glide down together. Ready? Ah. We can't be shy when we do these. Start high. Ah. Good. Now let's start from the beginning. Steady ah, and then we'll glide up. Ah, ah. I know it's not easy. The more you practice, the better you get at it. The only thing I will say, when we practice, you don't need to do more than 5 or so of the glides. So if you're struggling with it, don't do 10 or 20 of them trying to get it better and better. You do the best you can, do 5 or 6, that's fine. But then you try again the next day. You don't want to hurt your voice. All right, let's do one more glide. Ah, ah. Good. Take your sip of water. When you're working one-on-one with a certified speak out provider, your therapist might have you do more than 5 or 6, and that's okay. You're doing them together. You're trying to get it better and better and better. But on your own, don't push yourself too hard. 5 or 6 is plenty to try each day. We're going to move on to the 4th speak out exercise, the counting. Just like we did with the me, me, my, mo, moo, you're going to connect the numbers and we're going to stop completely at the end of each row. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I like to say reach for the end. Support the voice all the way to the end, especially if you tend to trail off or your voice tends to get a little raspy at the end. Speak out all the way to the end. Let's start at number 1 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, Now let's go backward, and we will we'll pause a little bit longer at the end of each row. All right, start with 12. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's probably better if we're more deliberate when we do the counting and pause just a little bit longer. Take a sip of water with intent. We'll move on to the reading. Without me mentioning any fairy tales, can you name some of the stories that were written by Hans Christian Andersen? Go ahead and say them with intent. You can also type them in the chat. If you've never used the chat before, where it says type in your nickname, just put in your first name and where you're practicing from. And it's good to come on to the website a few minutes before each session. Get the chat ready, get yourself ready, and then we'll start. Let's read these sentences with intent. Hans Christian Andersen was a Danish author. Again, with more intent. Hans Christian Andersen was a Danish author. Next. He was born on April 2nd, 1805. So with the highlighted words, we're stretching them out, we're emphasizing them just a little bit more. Read the top sentence again. He was born on April 2nd, 1805. Next. Andersen is known for his fairy tales. Again. Andersen is known for his fairy tales. It's important to try to make the highlighted words sound different. That means that you're using intent. It means that you are in control of your voice, not Parkinson. So really try to emphasize those highlighted words like I am. Next, he wrote The Little Mermaid, The Emperor's New Clothes, and The Ugly Duckling. Let's read it with it more intent. He wrote The Little Mermaid, The Emperor's New Clothes, and The Ugly Duckling. Of those three stories, which one do you like the most? Say it with intent. We're moving on to the conversation exercise, learning how to speak with intent when we're not necessarily reading. I want you to name 3 classic children's stories. Think about your favorite stories growing up. Say them with intent. Let's read these with intent. Number 1, Tale of Peter Rabbit. Number 2, The Little Engine That Could. Number 3, Curious George. One of my favorite stories growing up was a book that my great aunt would read to me, and it was called The Alligator's Problem. It's no longer in print, and I can't think of the author's name right now. The Alligator's Problem. And his problem was he was afraid of the dark. Very cute story. All right, now I want you to think about children's stories. What are some of the common morals or lessons that they're teaching? Say them with intent. Here's what Lisa came up with. Ready? Number 1, honesty. Number 2, cooperation. Number 3, hard work. Read them again with more intent. Number 1, honesty. Number 2, cooperation. Number 3, hard work. Take a sip of water with intent. After we do Dr. Boone's words 2 times each, I'm going to show you a website that I found today. I didn't know about it before, but if you need to work on building strength and endurance and work on longer reading, this might be a great resource for you. Let's go ahead and do this word twice. Exaggerate, really emphasize the G's, the K's, and the NG's. Here we go. Gula gang ga ga. Again. Gula gang ga ga. And the next one has some K's in there. Ready? Ku ka mangu ka. Exaggerate. Ku ka mangu ka. Next one. Gangla. Speak out. Gangla. And the last one. Kukla. Kukla. Very good. You know, before we had a Speak Out workbook with the Speak Out therapy program, we would use children's stories for our reading material. Well, I'm going to pull it up. I found a great website. And Sandy is going to share the link with you in the chat. And it's called thefablecottage.com. And it's pretty cool. Sorry, I have to keep my glasses on. It's pretty cool. They have, so here you see some of the stories. They have Chicken Little, The Bird and the Whale. But up here, they're in English. Okay, here's some in English. I'm sorry, let's go back. If I click on French, here are the stories in French. I can read them in Spanish. I can read them in Italian. I can read them in German. So cool. We're going to go back to English, and we're going to scroll down to one of Hans Christian Andersen's stories, The Emperor's New Clothes. Now, I'm going to blow this up, so you can go on your computer, the 3 dots, and mine it's in the top right, and I'm going to blow this up to 500 so we can read it online. I can get it up to 500, okay? It's pretty cool. They have the story, the audio, so of course if you have children in your life and you wanted to use this website, great. They also have a little video of the story, and then you can read it. So we're going to click on, whoops, there you go. Full story. And here we go. We're going to read this together. So you can use this for your reading material. Let's start with intent. Once upon a time, there was an emperor. Let's start over. We're going to go a little bit slower. We're going to use a little bit more intent. Ready? Once upon a time, there was an emperor. He had a big round belly, bushy eyebrows, and a very long mustache. But he was very vain. All he thought about was himself. Let's read these together. I am so wonderful, he would say. Look at my wonderful eyebrows. Look at my excellent mustache. I look marvelous. I want you to read those again, and I want you to concentrate on speaking out all the way to the end. Start at the top and say it like you are the emperor. Ready? I am so wonderful, he would say. Look at my wonderful eyebrows. Look at my excellent mustache. I look marvelous. So isn't that just really cool? I love this, and if reading the whole story is too challenging right now, because again, the reading material should be a little bit challenging but not frustrating, you could just take one paragraph and read it 3 times. As you build your strength, you could add on another paragraph. And reading the stories, let's say you took Spanish or French in high school. How about practicing reading? Sometimes it's harder to speak, but we can read, and that would be a great way to exercise your speech and swallowing muscles and use intent. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm very proud of you for doing your exercises. I will be back tomorrow, and we also have the Parkinson sing-along tomorrow, so plan on practicing for an hour every Thursday. Thank you. Have a good day.